So this morning, we're fortunate to have Reverend Patrick, our spiritual leader, talk about a time for a tune-up. And it seems to me August is that time for a pause before we go back into the hiding into our homes. But it is often a time for a vacation, a time for a break, a time for a pause. And so it's a good time for a tune-up. And so we're fortunate to have Reverend Patrick, who's been an ordained minister with the Centers for Spiritual Living since 1986, having graduated from the Holmes College of Consciousness Studies. Before moving to Connecticut to retire, fortunately, he hasn't quite retired yet, but he's come here to retire, apparently, with his wife, Sue Pollard. And before that, he served in 4 centers in California and New Mexico. And so really fortunate to have Reverend Patrick teach us.
Well, thank you, Nild, for that introduction. I didn't realize you were going to read my history, but that's okay. It's not a secret. I'm so happy to see everyone here today. This is a wonderful thing to be able to look at the screen and see faces close up. I can even see some of where you are looking. It's wonderful to have this medium. So welcome to the Science of Mind. Dr. Holmes also says it's a correlation of the laws of science, the opinions of philosophy, and the revelation of religion applied to human need and the aspirations of humankind. It is the study of life and the nature of the laws of thought. That is important for us to understand, the nature of the laws of thought, the conception that we live in a spiritual universe and that God is in us, around us, and for us, and there is nothing against us. If you can believe that, that's the beginning of real, deep, permanent change for where you are to something much better in terms of your experience of this life. So I have some additional reading taken from the Science of Mind, and it's really from the Declaration of Principles. One of them says, we believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature of the individual, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. You know, all the mystics of the world have told us of the marvelous relationship which exists between God and man. Man in the generic sense, not male or female, it's in the generic sense, humanity. And of course, a close union that cannot be broken. That's the kind of union we have with God, whether or not we acknowledge, whether or not we so-called bad people, we cannot be separated from the maker who made us. And we need to really begin to believe that God is always present, because God is omnipresent.